Hi, good morning. Welcome to Nate's Neighborhood. I'm John Kohler, and this is Nate Boley.
Hey guys, that's a big entry, by the way. Thank you. Yeah,
I didn't even say all the good stuff about how you're,
know.
like, highly ranked and whatever. He's
I think
one of Nye County's top realtors, and
I'm there. I think I was 13 this week.
Is that right?
Strangely enough, yeah, which makes sense.
Oh well, number
13th episode.
13 tries harder.
Yeah.
So
always.
If you have any real estate questions, first part of the show we talk real smart. Second part of the show we go take a tour, and I'm excited, and also I'm kind of up against it. I'm gonna need to get a haircut at the break if you don't mind.
Yeah, we're strangely enough, I'm gonna shave John's head during the break.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
So
we can look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean you won't see it, but you'll see it.
You'll see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah, so this is the Pahrump Homes episode.
All right. Yeah, no, we had a really good time down on Highway 160. I don't know how many times I've actually driven by this place and never really given it a second thought, but actually when we were originally moving to Pahrump, that was an option that we had kind of discussed with you.
Yeah, I think you guys actually had a phone call with Scott.
Yeah, I think we did
at one point. Yeah,
and
you just couldn't, you couldn't make it work the way that you wanted to.
Right.
Because at the time we had, goodness, I want to say at the time there were fires, of course, and right now you've got fires, and that drives up lumber prices.
Right.
So it's going to drive up the cost of any home, including a manufactured home, because they're all built out of wood.
Right. I mean, they're actually, houses for all intents and purposes, other than what
they're elevated off the ground.
Right.
I mean, and in a lot of cases, so especially, here's the interesting thing is that a lot of folks will tell you, especially a home or a builder that builds stick-built homes, will tell you that a stick-built home is much more structurally sound than your manufactured home. But that same builder might build that stick-built, site-built home with 2x4, which is the general standard for framing. As far as when you frame the home, you drive by and you see a bunch of wood and you see through it. It's framed, and it's usually framed with 2x4 or at least 2x4.
Right. These houses were all 2x6, if I remember.
All 2x6, yeah. And that's a big deal. I mean, you've got a much stronger structure.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, you've got a stronger structure than you would in some stick-built homes.
Well, then the other thing too is like some of the land out here in Nye County is shifty, let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, so just like Las Vegas and anybody anywhere, if you live at the bottom of a dry lake bed, like Las Vegas and Pahrump and Amargosa Valley and Sandy Valley and pretty much everybody around here, you're gonna come across several different types of sediments, I guess you would call them. So in some areas you're gonna find clay, where when it rains and gets heavy rains, the clay will start to rise and starts to swell. In a sandy area, it's the opposite. Then you get the sinking effect.
You get some sink. And I've seen some houses that were, put on a permanent foundation and they sink into the desert. Like, oh, gosh.
And it's really, you put it, and that's kind of it. If your realtor puts you in that area and puts you in that position, that's the very last thing that you want. You know what I mean? If you find this piece of land and it's super cheap and it's buildable, there's a reason. You know what I mean? There's a reason. And in that case, that's
Too good to be true?
Yeah.
And then it was? What?
Yeah, if a buildable acre lot should right now, these days in 2021, should probably cost you between 65 and 75 grand, right?
Okay.
And that's with power, well, septic, pretty much everything there just ready to put something on.
Okay.
If you find one of those for 30 grand or 35 grand, there's a reason behind it. And it may not be that, it could be next to just a rundown place that has a bunch of manufactured or beat up old cars or something like that.
You could live next to me, whatever, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So in this case, if you're going into one of those questionable areas, and we do have two specific neighborhoods in our valley that are questionable,
Just a little shifty
land. One in the north and one in the middle, and they're just, it's a mix of sand and clay in those areas.
Right.
So, and beyond that, there were some homes built in the early to mid 90s that weren't necessarily built correctly, especially as far as the foundations were concerned.
Right.
And that's probably a whole nother episode. I would absolutely love to get into it.
Sure.
But we got a bunch to get to on this one. But as far as manufactured homes are concerned,
that's an advantage.
It gives you a huge advantage, because whether you think you're on an area that's weird or you don't, you put down a manufactured home and you've got those engineer's jacks, those heavy duty engineer's jacks underneath between you and the ground. So when you can adjust your foundation essentially, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
And so maybe you can save some money on the land, figure, you know, save some money on the house, get the cool jacks, and there you go.
That's kind of
you're set up
yeah.
for the long haul. You might have to
and they're not
tinker a little
just
bit.
for, you know, of course they're not just for areas where you feel like you might have to, you know, adjust things.
Right.
You'll find them all over. And of course, you know,
That's
you
true.
always hear manufactured home, mobile home, modular home, that they were all essentially the same thing. Of course not. It's just essentially you're looking at time frames there. I think it was before 76, it was a mobile home. After 76, it was a modular home.
Right.
And manufactured homes are a completely different beast. But what you do get is you get a home that is also inspected more times than a stick-built home would be while it's being built.
I guess it would be.
Yeah. So you've got originally on a stick-built home, they'll go in, they'll do the framing, they'll do the electrical, they'll do the bare minimum, but just enough for the city's inspector to be able to come through and go, okay, that's code, that has to be fixed, you know, this, that, and the other thing.
Right. This one's got all the trim, and then it's all inspected and everything.
Yeah, and then after that, it might get one more inspection before you get what's called an occupancy permit, and that means this is a home, it's buildable, it's built, it meets code, someone can live in it now. A manufactured home gets 7 or 8 different inspections on its way. Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, if you've got, say, a double wide, okay, those 2 pieces are each going to be inspected at least 3 times before they leave the factory. They're then going to be inspected when they're put onto the ground. They're then going to be inspected again when the jacks and everything are put in the right spot.
Right.
And then finally you get your home inspector, you know, your local government guy who's going to come out and do that final inspection to give you certificate of occupancy.
That's a lot of fail-safes along the way.
It's a ton of fail-safes, yeah. So, and that's one of the things I try to bring up to people is, you know, you're not buying a worse product, you're buying a different product. It's Coke and Pepsi. Some folks love Pepsi. I'm a Coke fan, you know what I mean? Coke, Pepsi gets stale too quick.
Words, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fist fighting over it. But that's really the best way to look at it, you know? It's the only big difference that I see is that every few years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years, you've got to have an engineer come by and tighten those jacks up, make sure they're still in the right spaces.
Right.
And that's really it. Otherwise, you go through and you start hearing the creaks and all that little stuff that that you would hear in a plantation home, because those are essentially built literally the same way.
Right.
But no jacks, obviously. They didn't have those back then.
No. Yeah. Well, they probably did.
Big poles. Yeah,
I don't know if they thought to use them.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't spent any time in one. We don't have any around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so on part 2 of the show, get the haircut, go.
Get the haircut. He's going to get the haircut during the break. Let's not, we're not trying to
we'll do that.
outshine anybody around here by giving haircuts. You know what I mean? But it's a thing that needs to be done.
Yeah. I'm just thinking mow it down. Like really with
crew cut?
Crew cut.
Yep.
It's just fine.
I like it.
This stuff gets kind of crazy anyway. But so we looked at 3 different configurations.
We did.
And
I think there was a 1,500 square. Well, there was a couple of 1,500 to 1,600 square footers that we'll get into in the tours, and then one was smaller, right, like 1,400 and change.
Right.
But they all had space. You could walk in and breathe.
Right. That was the part that I was they're deceptively big.
Yeah, especially the newer ones like Scott Shepston and Andrew Scharf are your 2 guys that you're going to find at Craftsman Homes there. So all you got to do is look up Craftsman Homes Pahrump, and you're going to get their phone number. Amazing guys. They know anything and everything about manufactured homes and stick-built homes because they are both operating realtors as well. Right. So they're going to be able to help you on all sides.
Right. The nice thing about, so they've got 3 that are there, but there's so many different configurations to all this stuff.
30 or 40. Yeah, and what you'll realize is, when you go to see a stick-built home builder, they might have 5 or 6 different plans that they offer.
Right.
And if you want a different type of plan, you're probably going to pay between $7,000 and $20,000 for them and their drafter and their blah, blah, blah. Right. Totally worth it, because then those plans are yours and they can't ever sell them again. Right. But again, that's a huge price point to eat up just for having the plans. See what I mean? Right. In this case, they're working with 5 or 6 different manufacturers essentially. Right.
And then they've got all their lines.
They've each got their own. Yeah. So you're looking at essentially 30 to 40 different variations that are just there waiting for you. Right. Yeah. Which is great. And those aren't something you're going to pay extra for because they're already done.
Right, and because these guys are brokers and not like a direct manufacturer, whatever, they have those options to give you, so it's
They
kind of
do.
nice.
Yeah, they're not stuck just with craftsman homes.
Right.
But granted, the majority of their brands that they do carry and work with are
Yeah.
craftsman homes. Like I believe Redmond is one of them.
Right.
You know, one out of Nevada, one out of I think maybe Utah, and one out of Arizona.
Right.
So and it's a broad spectrum as well. You know, you're really getting you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yep.
And then you're getting, you know, less out-of-pocket costs along the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're a great alternative.
Right.
You know, and if you've never lived in one, or if you don't really know what one is, that you know,
buying a new one.
Scott and Andrew, yeah, go in and walk the models they have.
Right.
You know, get a feel for it. And they've got them in various stages, which you guys will see in the tour. There's one that was almost totally done.
Right.
Yeah. There was one that was.
You had to use your imagination
done.
a little bit.
Yeah, some of the carpet wasn't there yet, things of that nature. But you kind of, by touring those, you get to see kind of how it comes together on your end, which is nice.
And also, you know, if you're getting those ideas about like, you know, flooring and decorating and colors and everything, that's the time to go through and pick it before they, you know.
It really is. Yeah, and that's the other beautiful thing about it. You're not necessarily going to come across a whole bunch of upgrade packages and, well, this is extra 10 grand and this is 12 extra grand kind of thing.
Right.
You know, they do have upgrade packages, but they're just not priced like that at all. Because we're getting them directly from their manufacturer.
Right.
So there's not a bunch of middlemen sticking their hands in there either. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Yeah. And if you can't qualify for a 2,200 square foot stick-built home, you might be able to qualify for a 2,200 square foot manufactured home.
No, there was a huge price difference in the stuff. I mean, really, when we worked it all out from beginning
and the real value difference that you get is closer together. You know what I mean? Than the pricing difference.
Right.
Yeah. So we got to run pretty soon because we got to give John a haircut over the break. Yeah. Hard to explain, but it's just something that comes up sometimes. It's more of a show business thing. I guess you folks may not understand it.
Try and keep it interesting for the second half. But the tour should have been enough, but we'll throw the haircut in just like extra spice on top.
Yeah, but we're just trying to, you know, give you something different visually to look at.
Yeah, there you go.
Know? Not to say that he's not a great looking man, but we got
a handsome man. It's Nate's Neighborhood. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Come back. Welcome back to Nate's Neighborhood, Nye County's #1 real estate show, 13 weeks in a row. Woo!
All right. That's some kind of a record somewhere. It's got to be, right? Don't worry about it. You guys don't bother Googling that. Okay.
It's fine. You're fine. Man, so these homes, they're just crazy. Just these manufactured homes. It's always, you know, you drive up on one, you know what they all kind of look like from the outside. More or less, some of them have some fancy features like this last one had with, you know, the cool bay windows and all that stuff, kind of set them apart. But what really sets them apart is just the value you get on the inside, because you're thinking like, what can you put in the? I'm not going to, you know, it's going to be boring. It's going to be. It's not. These things are built like crazy, and I just. It was shocking, really, what you miss out on if you just like
so
say,
much
"Oh,
value.
manufactured." No, you know.
Yeah, if you just squash that out and don't make it an option when you're looking, especially to build.
Yeah.
You know, you're missing out because the only main difference, you know, besides the 2x4, 2x6 thing, which the folks, you know, are good folks, Scott and Andrew. I'm sure they had a hand in making that change with those folks.
Right. And I met Scott. He's like a very affable guy. A realtor also. He's licensed.
Scott and Andrew are both licensed realtors, both licensed manufactured home purveyors as well.
Okay.
So yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They're great at it. They are going to be able to put everything together for you, literally.
Right.
From the power to the water to the land to, you know, getting water rights if you need to.
Right.
Yeah, they're full service realtors, man, and they're a member of Pahrump Valley Property.
So there you go. You show up at Craftsman Homes, you hook up with Scott, you hook up with Andrew. They can hook you up with some of these amazing values, and some of these homes we're looking at are just nuts. We didn't have a lot of exterior photos, but mostly we're looking at the interiors and going, wow, look at all this stuff anyway.
Yeah, because it's all on the interior. Yeah, because these days a lot of the exterior designs they differ a little bit from the way they used to in the 90s and early 2000s, but it's not a huge difference. The big difference is when you get inside the home. Yeah. And so that's why we're
Do you want to get inside this
pumping
next
this
one
out,
here
yeah.
and see what we got here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out the floor plan. So this is the second one that we toured is the actual Catalina.
Okay.
So it is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,541 square feet.
It's a
Great
lot of
looking
square feet.
place.
Really
Yeah,
pretty.
you'll see it's the same floor plan that we had up for the last one. But this one will fully match this floor plan as we walk through and go through the pictures. You'll notice it does say 1,481 square feet livable, but 1,541 in total. And that's just really differences between where you can actually lay down and or sleep and where you cannot or should not.
Maybe they're counting the porch. It could be
Yeah,
about right.
sometimes
It
you're
could be
counting the porch,
Yeah.
sometimes you're counting, you know, the space behind the toilet, you know,
Right.
if you got 15 bathrooms,
Oh,
Lord
I
knows.
suppose.
Yeah.
But you come on in and look at this thing. It's
Yeah, so this is how it was supposed to look when we walked into that first model, except for that big plastic tarp was
Oh,
up.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I don't have to imagine how the extra space, because here it is.
Yeah, so we've got a different kitchen setup, obviously. It opens up a bit more, and you've got more of you've got the dual level island, which a lot of folks like.
You got the
But
fancy
just
bar
as
there.
much
so you
space.
oh, the party always ends up in the kitchen. This is great.
Yeah, yeah, and you've got tons of cabinetry. You've got a super modern look,
Right.
and you've got high-grade quality supplies.
Is that laundry room tucked in back in the left-hand corner there? Is that
Yeah, yeah, that's just off the kitchen, and then of course just off the laundry room would be your exit to the back.
So you get all your utilities and all those kind of things kind of bunched together. It's kind of helpful when they're putting
It is
together
pretty
the
nice. Yeah, I mean you can cook and clean and do dishes and rotate laundry within, like, you know, 600 square feet. You know what I mean?
It's
if that's
a
what you're
dream.
about for
It's
this
a
afternoon.
dream.
Yeah, I'm not just saying ladies, but guys out there too. You know.
Yeah.
If you got chores, I
Spoil
got
your house
chores every
husband,
day.
get them,
Yeah.
you know, get them hooked up. He doesn't have to move.
Yeah, here, baby, you can do all your stuff right here. And we'll start a fight at all.
Yeah, a little dining nook at the
Yeah,
end.
this is technically going to be your formal.
Okay.
But you know, it wouldn't be a formal in this case. You know, you're not necessarily going to set like an 8-top table right there. You could fit one, but you know, this is more aimed for your 4-top or your 6-top size table.
Right. But nice big closets going in for this. Was this pantry or was this?
This is a closet.
All right.
Yeah, and sizable. Yeah, the use of space is what's really important in these, and it's very well done. There's no wasted space. There's nothing that just stands out and doesn't look right. Here's the primary bathroom.
Countertops are cool. What is that? Some kind of Korean?
Granite, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like granite, and the same. Yeah, we've got the matching backsplash, that 4-inch granite, which is great because they call it a backsplash for a reason. Something's going to end up over there. And it's easier to clean if there's a stone there instead of a wall, yeah, so.
Yeah, splash whatever you want on the back. It's fine. It's got the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at this giant
Here is,
master room.
This is the master primary bedroom. Yeah, just needs flooring.
Yeah.
You know, and this one is
And maybe some
just
curtains
right toward
unless
the
you're all
ending
kind of
stages.
freaky, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, where it sits now, you're facing the highway, so yeah, you got.
Putting on quite a
You
show
might
in
want to
there.
move it before you think about carpet.
Oh, this is, it was, oh, look
Here's
at
my
this
favorite
tub. This
part.
was
yeah.
crazy.
This whole the primary bathroom is just top notch, man. The tub's awesome. The shower's awesome. The tile work in the back, the way it flows into the flooring.
Could you put 2 in that tub, do you think?
I think so.
Is that a ghost, Nate? I'm
I
seeing
think
in
so.
the.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's spooky. Look at that.
That is kind of.
But look, you've got the waterfall shower there.
Oh, I didn't even see the waterfalls.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that thing.
Just
Crazy.
amazing, man. Yeah.
That's
And,
some-
and,
those
if,
are
and
some-
if you're somebody who needs an easier shower to get into, you know,
Yeah.
that's the sort of thing that they can work with you on. You know, these are homes that you can customize in a serious way. You can't always mess with floor plans on them, but you can upgrade, you can customize, you can do a lot of different things.
His
And
and
all you
her
got to do
sinks.
is call Scott and Andrew, and they'll be happy to tell you all about it. Yeah.
Man,
And here's the his and hers, and hers. We still haven't came up with a thing for that, but theys and theys. This is the dual sinks.
All
in there.
them sinks. Look
All
at
them
them.
sinks, yeah.
Couple of
bit
them.
of elbow space there.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
should
mean?
do.
You've got the nice updated medicine cabinets and mirrors to match. All the cabinets, of course, throughout the home match.
I see this room has some blinds up.
Yeah, this is one of the finished rooms in the house. Yeah, they've got the flooring in, they've got the blinds up, and this is you're looking at what your what you're gonna get.
I like that new carpet smell too. I don't know.
It's pretty amazing.
Tile is very popular,
Yeah.
you know, in the
But
South.
new carpet is like that new car thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in and you can tell. It's nice. It's nice.
And there's a lot of it here. Look at that. Big
Yeah.
old closets. Yep.
Yeah, I believe that's the secondary bedroom, which was always also finished. It
Is this
has
the
its own
second?
walk-in closet.
Okay, this is probably number 3 then.
Yeah, I believe that was number 3, yeah. Yeah, but
With the
still
little-
sizable. It was 10 by 10. This is your spare bath. You know, you've got everything you need there. A full bathroom.
A commode.
A commode, a sink, a shower.
I like this kitchen actually in here. It's pretty good.
I thought the kitchen was great. This is the 3rd model.
Oh, this is, are we up?
Yeah.
Up to model number 3. Well, let's just bowl
Yeah.
on through, baby. Yeah, this is on the inside of model number 3. This is more like was this also a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house? I'm trying to remember.
No, 3 and 2.
Oh,
Just
wow.
a little bit smaller, 1,494 square feet. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll find usually that's taken out of the general living space. So the bedroom's going to be about the same size.
Yeah.
The kitchen will be a tiny bit smaller. Living
This
room
is
might be
maybe a
tiny
little bit smaller, but I do like that the island, having a little island in there. It kind of opens up the whole room.
Yeah, and it shows you what you can do as well. I mean, if you do an island with a sink, without a sink,
Right.
you know, like we were saying before, you can move things around. Scott and Andrew know how to do it, and they know how to do it the right way and get it done to where you're going to be a very happy person at the end when they hand you a set of keys. No doubt.
Right, right. Design it all up, customize it to your convenience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the floor plan. So you've got the optional glamour bath, which is amazing. You know what I mean? If you want to upgrade your bath, you know, if the bathroom is your place.
That was that the glamour bath we looked at in house number 2 just a couple minutes ago with all that? That had some with
You know what? I
with
think
the
it was an
waterfall thing.
upgraded glamour bath.
That was
I believe
pretty
it
cool.
was. Yeah. Yeah, and that term glamour bath, you know, glamour costs you money, but
It's
you
just
get
money,
glamour.
you know, whatever. You get
Yeah,
some glamour.
you get glamour. Come on, man. It's named glamour for a reason. Yeah. But I mean, who doesn't want to walk into their bathroom and see that tub and a variation of that shower
Right.
or that sink setup and everything?
Just
It's
go like,
nice.
man, I'm living good. Somebody,
Yeah, like you know
somebody
what,
likes
this is
me.
perfect.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's me. I took care of me. Yeah, exactly. Okay, main living space, and here you can see literally what they call the marriage line, that big beam that runs across.
Right.
between
Here's
the
where
two.
they tie it together.
Yeah, here's where they get bolted together, and that's always done by a local engineer. They also do the tie downs, the jacks underneath.
Make
They're
sure
gonna take
everything's
care
leveled
of.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to walk into something that's going
Stable.
to float around and move on you. And they're
But that's something you
great,
might have to do down the line, like 10 years, something you might want to rejack, get kind of re-level, just go
Yeah, and that's
every
with
now
any
and again.
manufactured home. Yeah, depending on what you're putting in it. If you decide you're going to drag a very large pool table in here and put it where that roller rug is,
Yeah.
you know, then you're probably going to have somebody come out and adjust every 6 months because you got a ton of weight sitting on one side of the house. And the longer you let it sit there, it'll start to crack and shift a little bit, which
Right.
isn't the end for your home, obviously. It just means you need to call somebody like Rick at Best Set. Hey, guys. And they'll come out and adjust and make everything all better. And then your cracks essentially form back together. Very minimal repairs. So
All right,
you
so
just need some local
here's that
trustworthy
prow
guys.
front of that of the end there from the inside.
Yeah.
Pretty.
And with the shades in it, yeah, it's got a great look, man.
Yeah.
It's very open, especially for a smaller floor plan. You know, we're talking about sub 500 square or sub 1,500 square feet here. So to see all this open space in this area is pretty impressive.
Right, and actually the kitchen felt right to be in there. Like you could move around in there and like.
Yeah, you weren't bumping it. It's not like at certain grocery stores where you can't get a cart down one side and a cart down the other side and you run into people. Yeah. No, we're dealing with Walmart aisles here. Very wide. Here's your spare bath in this one. You do have, I want to say this one had 2 sinks, but I can't remember. We didn't get it in the shot.
I see
No
the
worries.
throne room in there.
Yeah, you do see the throne. And here's the second largest bedroom next to it.
It takes silver. It did a personal best. I don't know, but
There you
look
go.
at
It took silver.
but even
Second
though
best.
it's got one of those huge walk-in closets, so it's
Yeah,
not,
and the monstrous natural light that you're going to get out of those windows, man,
Right.
it's great.
and the monster that comes in the closet, they don't charge extra. So
Yeah, that's correct. You never know.
good deal.
The boogeyman.
Something for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
This is good.
And this is the one exterior that we did grab of this place. And you can see it's It's broad. There you go. We got a little bit of the deck there, and you
But
can
it's
do a deck
also
on the
bright.
front,
I mean,
deck
it's
on the
bright
back.
and cute. I mean, look at
Yeah,
that
it's
thing.
inviting, man.
It's
got
like
you
country
walk
living.
up
Like,
on
come
it.
on out, man. You know,
Yeah, it feels like something you just kind of want to plop right in the middle of an acre and have a garden around it.
have some
have this
chickens in
and
the
that,
yard.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just, it's got a great feel to it. All of them do. If you guys want to go see Scott or Andrew, they represent Craftsman Homes as well as a few other local builders between Arizona, California, other places like that. They're down there at 3110 South Highway 160.
They got it all figured out, and they'll figure out something special and custom for you. So
You just tell them Nate and John sent you, and they'll treat you super nice.
Yeah,
Real
excellent.
nice.
That's Nate's Neighborhood for this week. Thanks very much. We'll
Bye,
see you
guys.
next time.
Have a good week.